Great to be down here on the floor with you, David, and I bet he shows up here tonight in support of her because there are 20,000 people at least here, and I had a chance today in an ABC News exclusive to talk to her right after she walked out and had the startling sight of this hall for the first time. Ann Romney walked into the hall where her words could influence a presidential election. She usually speaks without notes, but there's a teleprompter. You practice on the Gettysburg Address. How was it up there?
You know, I was a little shaky when I first came out. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty big auditorium. This will obviously be the biggest speech of my life. And but as soon as I settled in, I'm like, felt good, felt really good.
Well, you have teleprompter. That's something new tonight.
This is new. This is new.
And did the governor give you any advice? What was his best advice?
You know, he said to just look as though someone's face is there, as though you're talking to someone, and that helped a lot.
What is it to be here on a night when you see your husband achieve this kind of dream?
Well, it's the funniest thing. It's not like we are jubilant, happy. It's not that at all. It's a settling in of the awesomeness of how many people are counting on us. Is sort of a humility that is millions of people have put their trust in us, and we don't want to disappoint, but we are not feeling overjoyed, or those kinds of emotions aren't there.
Isaac is going to be coming, I'm sure. Are you going to get updates backstage? So
I just was getting an update just as I was in my green room, and we're watching it carefully, and we hope everyone will stay safe and listen to what they've got to do and be prepared.
But it'll affect your mood too, and the mood of the hall.
You know, those are things that are unavoidable, and you know, one thing that I've learned by being a mother of 5 boys is flexibility.
And speaking of her strapping high-energy boys, she confessed, laughingly, she'd always hoped for one girl.
When the fifth baby came out and it was a boy, I'm like, oh no! But one thing I can say about boys is they've taught me much more than I think I would have learned by being a mother of girls. And they taught me to be real, to have no baloney, and to just say it straight and then get over it. And that was a great lesson.
So tonight, even though she never expected a public life, even though she has campaigned while battling MS, she will be here to give her husband the greatest gift she can give in his political career. So what was the best advice anyone has ever given you?
It was my father, actually, when he was dying. He grabbed my hands and he said, Ann, live your life. Enjoy every moment. Do everything you can. Dream every dream you want. Don't be restricted by anything. Just go and live your life. He says, I wish I had more minutes in my life to live. And that was amazing. I was with him as he was passing to the other side, and it was like, that was his last really moment that he said, oh, life is great. And so that was probably my best advice. I'm sure he's watching me.
Watching over her tonight, I want to bring in co-anchor of Good Morning America, anchor of this week, George Stephanopoulos. It is hard to overestimate the importance of the tone that will be set tonight.
Ann Romney's job is so huge for this reason, Diane. Mitt Romney's coming to this convention with the lowest favorability ratings of any nominee in modern times of a major party. What she has to start to do tonight is turn that around, give people a sense of who he really is, how he's been tested, and why people can trust him to take the reins at the White House.
And what about women? Where does the gender gap stand right now?
Well, right now, Mitt Romney is doing okay with married women, but he's well behind with women overall. He's falling back particularly with single women. Where he's got the advantage, though, is with men, particularly blue-collar men, and that's where Chris Christie comes in tonight.
Chris Christie comes in, as we know, always with guns blazing. What are you expecting from him?
You know, I asked him this morning, are we going to get fire and brimstone? And he just laughed. And I actually think that was a little bit of a clue. We saw back in 2008 a little bit of a harsh edge at the Republican convention when they talked about Barack Obama. What I would watch for tonight is much more of a sense of humor. To see Chris Christie going after Obama in a more playful way. They know that he's personally has a high favorability rating, but they also know that people are disappointed. They're going to try to take advantage of that.
To keep the tone even tonight. Okay, you are one of the past masters of the stagecraft of conventions. You know everything about it. You can decipher the codes. So take a look right now at this hall and that stage. What's the first thing that strikes you?
I'll tell you, when I walked into the hall today, the first thing that hit me was all that wood. And it's trying to communicate two things. One, trying to warm up Mitt Romney. It's warm, it's a little more homey. Also sends the message, this is real, this is authentic, this is, authentically American. That's what they're trying to do with that stage tonight.
Well, you and I will be right here watching it all tonight, along with our powerhouse political team. Be sure to tune in tonight with us. The big speeches start tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, and we will see you then.